Making lives harder for gym owners. So what happens when like someone gets sick? So you got these two people. It sounds super lean.
That's
like
a fantastic question.
One person gets the flu. Like 2 people across the 3 locations get the flu. That's like 50% of your staff. What happens? You know, we both love trashy reality television.
I do, but sometimes we don't overlap. But I'm glad we found a common one here.
Since it's on the hit list for sure. Hello and welcome to Gym World Worldwide. I'm Dad, here with Mateo Lopez, and this week we have a special guest for you all. We are here with Jeff Schumacher, right, Mateo?
Yeah.
Like Redenbacher?
Yeah, there you go.
Of Engage Personal Training and Gauge Strength Training out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great, John. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
I also didn't know PA had its own Westchester, which is kind of fun. A little bit confusing for me.
It's 2 words, not 1 word. So 2 words, well, Westchester.
That's helpful then.
There you go. That's how you tell the 2 apart.
That's a differentiator.
So we got to talking. We had dinner the first night of the Two Brain Summit, which was incredible event. 750 fitness professionals just out vibing in Rosemont, Illinois. Be there next year. And I heard a little bit about your business, was super interested in what you were doing. Sounds like you got a very efficient model. And we bonded over some of the similarities. So it sounds like you are currently operating 4 gyms out of, like, you're on Mainline, right? Is Westchester considered Mainline?
We're right at the tail end of the main line. So our location, Malvern, would be considered the last stop on the main line.
Got it. So when did you went from 1 to 4 and how quick? Like, what was that? What was that?
Yeah, we went to 1 to 4 in 10 months.
Yeah. What did we do, Teo? How quick did we do that? We went from 2 to 5 and
we opened 3 at the same, like all of the opening dates for the newest 3 gyms were all in like January, February. Like it was all the same month.
So yeah, that was really stupid, and I hated my life at the time. So I just want to check in with you, see how are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. We are in between launches right now, so I'm just kind of itching to get the next one. And I think the plan is we're going to try to do 2 launches at once. So ask me in 3 months, and maybe I'll tell you something different. But right now, I'm ready to go.
Don't recommend it because what we found is you can only be at one place at a time.
This is true.
It's very annoying from a time perspective, but maybe you got more management than we did at the time. But unfortunately, we were limited by the fact that we could only be in one place at one time. That proved to be tricky with the simultaneous launches.
All right, well, you might have convinced me, but we'll see. Well, Devin's the visionary, so if he wants to roll with it, I'll try to see if I can make it work.
Right. And so you're the ops guy, right? You're the operational partner. You're the make sure the trains run on time, shit gets done. There's an HR problem. It's bubbling up to you, right? That's your role in the business.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. So everything that's not like sales and marketing would be, my role. So creating what we do, creating the product, the experience, the facilities, the layout, hiring, firing, training, all that type of stuff.
All right. So the most difficult thing I found, I don't know, Teo, maybe you can weigh in here, running multi-location was staffing. Like the toughest part to successfully running multiple gyms at one time is making sure you got an operator in there, like treating it like an owner. Would you agree, Teo, based off of your experience?
Well, yeah. I mean, they also were owners, so I don't know what we did wrong in that scenario.
We didn't do anything wrong. I just thought that was the hardest part.
No, yeah. And I also would say, I think another layer of complexity was they were all slightly different concepts. It sounds like yours, Jeff, are all going to be the same concept. More, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the PT one, it's all going to be kind of the same model. We did different locations with different operators and partners with different concepts. I mean, 2 were strength and conditioning, but yeah, no one was offering the same classes. A PT, one was a CrossFit. So we just tried to make it as hard as we possibly could when we did it, when we did our expansion.
No, we're like franchise light. Like everything is going to feel the same. All the equipment's going to be the same. The concept's the same. The schedule's the same. So we kind of whittled down our concept of small group from the 10 years at our first location, and just are running with that, kind of packaging that and scaling that as fast as we can.
So explain what it is. Engage personal training is the core concept, the concept that's taking off. What is it and why is it working?
Yeah, so small group personal training. So we cap the sessions at 7 people. The programming is everyone is doing the same version of exercises. We basically have 2 workouts going on at the same time, like a level 1 and a level 2. So we're able to individualize the track people are on based on their goals, their needs, their injuries, their experiences, what type of training they like to do. So in Westchester, we do small group, but it's 7 people all on their own individual programs, which is would be a bear to replicate. We have 300 small group members, all with custom programming. At Engage, we just templated the workouts that fit our target market and who we speak to. And I'm sure we'll talk about that later. And we're very specific with what type of person is coming into the gym so that they align with the training that we do. So we don't have to have 7 different workouts to meet 7 different types of people, in the gym. We have a client avatar, and that training is built, it's basic functional training built to someone that wants to look better, move better, feel better. That is somewhere between 40 and 70 years old.
Yeah, I'm looking at your site here. It looks like 40 to 60 is kind of your bread and butter here. I'm seeing a lot of like moms and busy commuter dad types. Is that it for you?
That is. So,
and you look at the other one. I like the messaging on this one better. We help
I do too.
people over 40 lose weight with pain-free workouts.
I was about to say on that site, it's very clear, and I love the headline.
Yeah, this one's better. You should change that. JK. But yeah, I love this. And so 300 individual. Well, you said it's templated, but it's semi-individualized, right? When you say templated, it's like everyone's doing some form of a squat that day, and it's just what type of, whether it's like a barbell, a goblet, or something like that, or is it is there a little more to it than?
No, you nailed that. So it's we have whatever level of training you're on. That's what you're doing: goblet squat, barbell, landmine, double kettlebell, sandbag. Whatever it is. So everyone's doing the same movement.
Got it. And are you using like pen and paper, Google Sheets to manage that, or are you trying to do that with software?
So what we do right now is at Engage, we don't have our members really track their workouts. We'll track quarterly. So every quarter we'll do like a test out week. And we actually created, so our population is older. So we kind of have to go back 15 years on everything we do, right? So we created fridge magnets that we give people that say, it has boxes for their squat, their deadlift, their bench, their push-up, their, echo bike test, and people love it. They get to fill in at the gym with the Sharpie of, I took my squat from this to this, and they can bring that home and throw it on their fridge. People come to their houses, they see it, their family sees it, all that type of stuff. So we want them to share their results. So we track on a fridge magnet, to be honest with you. And then, I'm going to keep talking about the differences at Gauge, our big gym. That is pen and paper. That is, everyone has a folder. Everyone is tracking on pen and paper and Google Sheets. So that's a different beast, but we probably, give the manila folder industry all their money.
Yeah. Gauge is big, right? You got like 500 members over there or something like that.
Yeah, 500 members. So we do about 400 adults and 100 like athletes, which is middle school and high school kids.
So is that doing over $1 million in revenue?
Yeah, we do. So we'll probably go on track to for 1.3 this year in that location.
Nice. And what is walk me through the economics of a fully packed out Engage studio. So kind of run me through high level numbers of one of your more mature locations.
Yeah. So, our capacity at an Engage location, we shoot for 120 members total.
And what size footprint?
So they're all between 1,700 and 2,000 square feet.
Oh, that's nice. So they're in there tight.
Then they're tight. It's in a retail space. We try to go for like a grocery store anchored place. And then we just have training pods. So there's 3 of everything. We opened with 6 people originally. So we just got 6 of, or 3 of everything to pair people up. And we've since kind of expanded that to 7, but 120 is the goal for the membership number. And that is just small groups. So if we get one-on-ones on top of that, that's great. So if we get to about 130 members, that facility is doing really well. Average membership at an Engage is going to be about $350 a month. One-on-ones, we do $100 a session for that. And then the staffing, we have a facility leader. So that manager you were talking about you need an operator. We have that person that runs it, and then a full-time coach, and that's it. So there's 2 people in the location. Margins are great. And, so far that has been the model that's worked for us to kind of continue to open locations, one after another.
Wait a second. There's only 2 people per location?
2 people per location. Yeah.
How many, I guess, not classes, but how many small group sessions are there in the day?
We'll do 7 in the day, Monday through Thursday. Friday, we just have 4. Are
they an hour or 45 or?
They're an hour sessions.
And then that person's squeezing in one-on-ones as well?
If we have them, so if we have them, it's a lean model.
Wow.
Wait, so what is your coach, like a coach is doing how many hours on the floor?
A full-time coach for us, we would say is 25 sessions a week. But right now I'll talk about Malvern because that's the oldest studio. So facility leader there is coaching probably 15 sessions. And then our full-time coach is coaching about 24 to 25. And then,
so both people are on the floor. And then how does it, if it's an anchored place, I'm assuming people walk in the front door all the time. How does that work?
So it's just block scheduling typically. So if you're there in the morning, you're going to coach that 5:30 to 11 block. And then whoever comes in for the afternoon is going to come in after that block. So we'll always have someone in the facility. The facility leader, right, that operator, kind of takes, the role of an owner in that location. So they spend a lot of time there, especially, I would say, especially during the first 90 to 180 days as we grow that facility to capacity. But, we open a location in April. Again, capacity is 120. We open in April. We have 107 members. So we're almost kind of locking the doors there, which is great. Okay,
so wait. So you're saying there's 2 people in there at all times, but not the whole. You have like their operator, and then you have like the morning coach, and then they tag out, and then the second half of the day coach, right? And then you have the manager who's there kind of the whole time.
No, 2 people total.
So one body at a time. So like if 6 people are doing goblet squats and someone walks in with their grocery being like, what is this thing? You got them trained so they can do both at the same time?
Absolutely. We'll just get their contact information and they'll kind of go through the sales process with the facility leader kind of managing that. They don't have to necessarily be there at the facility. So if you walked into an Engage location right now, you might see 2 coaches there because it's kind of that in between. I guess it's Fridays, but in between sessions, you're going to see 2 people. But for the most part, it's going to be one person in that location just coaching.
Were you ever at Bowery when like random people came in and like, what is this thing, Teo?
I mean, most of the time we had a coach and then me, so it was fine. But yeah, I guess there were probably times at any of the various locations where it was just one person in the building. And if there's one person in the building, it was pretty tough to kind of do both, especially if it's like a part B, like the Metcon's happening and the music's blasting and like people are like screaming and then like dying on the floor, and then someone walks in, you're like, oh, hey, how are you? Fill this thing out. You over there, squat lower. Okay, see you later, maybe next time. And then that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember our first gym was like right across the street from a grocery store, and we'd always get that. They'd walk in at the worst possible time, just like classes packed out, music is like on 100, and they're like, "Oh, what's a CrossFit?" And so, yeah, good times, good times. So it sounds like top line for these kind of in the like targets probably around like 40, based off of what you're telling me, and then 2 bodies. Rent, I'm guessing at maturity, you're probably looking 30-40% to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually going 40 to 45 to 50, depending on that. But 40 is our goal. 40 is our goal. So $40,000 a month in revenue and 40% profits is where we want to be.
So what's the secret to, you're building these things out fast, you're producing a lot of them. How are you finding talent? That seems, back to my original question, that seems hard.
It's the hardest thing. And honestly, we would have 8 locations if that wasn't the issue. I think the scaling and the all the other stuff has been the easy thing for us, and it just slows us down to find the operator. What has worked best for us is, we're trying to find people that would want to open their gym or want to open their own gym no matter what. And maybe they can't do it because they don't have the finances to do it, or they can't do it because they've only worked at a gym and don't know how, or they manage a gym and can't, take 3 months off to, follow their passion project. So we're actually identifying people that want to be gym owners, and then we're offering them systems, financing and structure and support to open their own, right? And doing it under the model of engaged personal training. We're obviously looking for people whose training principles and their philosophy kind of align with us, so that it's not a different feel everywhere you walk in. We want to find the best small group coaches around us, and then see if they want to join our company, get the support and get the opportunity to kind of grow their own business.
Can you walk me through kind of like the division of labor? So it sounds like the floor coach, sounds like they're just coaching and solely focused on the class experience. The location manager, I'm assuming, is handling sales, or they're, monitoring classes, or they're cleaning stuff that falls apart or whatever. You're kind of implementing how the coaches should coach, but I'm assuming at scale, these other managers have to report that, how the class are going to you. So I guess how does it all work?
Yeah. So the facility leaders, they're responsible for sales, number one, right? Growing the gym. They also get to program for their facility. So we have the structure of what we do, but they get to program all the training for their facility. And then they control the client engagement piece of things, right? So we do social events, we do awards for our members, we track their visits, we celebrate them as much as possible. That's a big part of the facility leader, is like building that culture. So they're going to sell, they're going to coach, they're going to program, and they are going to do the culture, right? Full-time coach is going to coach and help the facility leader with that engagement piece. So reaching out to members, small scale, it's 120 members. So we can, keep really good tabs on when people are coming in and when they're not. But on a surface level, that is kind of how things are divided. Facility leader is sales and community, and coaches coach and community.
And I noticed that too on your social media accounts. Like you do publish a lot of content. Some of it's like, hey, is your teen bad at running? Does it look like this? It should look like this. Come talk to me. But I also saw a lot of posts that were like, member of the month, essentially. Like, congratulations. You have all these coaches like congratulating on video, posting that. Did you come up with that rhythm? Did someone else come up with that rhythm? Who's kind of in charge of what our publishing rhythm and content rhythm is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, we came up with that. Devin, my business partner, came up with that. We've been doing that for years at Gage. Members of the month, we do an annual award ceremony where all 400 of our adult members will get awards. We do, huge banquet style. open bar, food, all that type of stuff. And we've done that for all 10 years we've been in business. So the celebrating members has been something we've done forever. Member of the month, we never miss it. We highlight people on their visits. They come 400 times, they get to hold a sign, 1,000, they get to autograph it, and we get balloons and everything. So we've been doing that forever. And then all those principles we just packaged, and that happens at Engage too. So facility leaders through their onboarding process understand that, client engagement looks like this. This is what we do at Engage. This is what we do at Gage. This is how we build the culture and community that makes us, people's third place. To steal it from Starbucks, we want to be the most important place outside of their house and their work.
Gym owners love saying that shit. I used to say that all the time. All right, here's 1,000. All right, so you autograph it and you slap it on the wall? Or the owner has to get a tattoo? What's that?
No, yeah, right. No, we slap it on the wall. They get pictures. They'll get a big gift, right? And then, again, everyone that has hit that 1,000 mark gets to autograph the sign.
1,000 is a shit ton. That's 200 workouts a year for 5 years. How long have you guys been open at the original?
10 years.
10. Okay, that makes sense. That's wild.
Yeah.
I like this here. The first post you have, explaining what it is. Because a lot of times I'll see, I was looking at gyms in my area, and strength and you can kind of tell, oh, this is a strength and conditioning gym, but I just run a gym podcast and talk to gym owners all day. But a lot of these are the website's so vague, or the photos are so vague. There's so little information. I have no clue what the training is, how it's delivered. So I love the idea of explaining it on your Instagram page, because that's, once I get lost, that's the first place I go to try and figure out what's going on inside of the gym.
I also saw in a lot of your copy, it's no burpees, no fire breathing, feeling like death and whatever, which I think is a massive selling. I kind of want to sign up. It's also very clear who kind of this is for. It's maybe you did do CrossFit 5 years ago and now you're a bit older and you still want that kind of training aspect and strength training, but maybe you don't need to do burpees anymore, and that's okay. You can come here and we'll figure it out for you, which I kind of love.
Yeah, no, it's funny when we started to use that language, because we hadn't done it in our programming in a long time, right? We did them for years, and once we stopped, we're like, we should advertise this, and we'll get people that are oh my God, you don't do burpees? Yes, sign me up. The last gym I was at, you come in 5 minutes late, you got to do 5 burpees. I never want to do a burpee again. Burpees, running, and jumping. No burpees, no running, no jumping. We're not speaking to super fit person that looking to find a gym. We're speaking to the person that, has never found a gym that they feel comfortable in. And we want to be that place where the training is going to be better than every gym you've ever been to. And the environment is going to be, exactly what that over 40 person that's looking to lose weight is looking for.
Do you ever tag your members in this stuff?
We do. We share that to our Facebook groups as well. So every gym has their own Facebook group with all the members in it.
Yeah, I feel like this would crush if you're tagging them, because you do a good job of celebrating them all. All right. Well, looking at this, I'm guessing this isn't the primary driver of new members, right? It's good, but for some of the smaller studios, it's only a couple hundred followers. So what are you guys doing to get bodies in the door?
Yeah, it's paid marketing for the most part. So paid Facebook ads. We're running ads, Facebook, Google, as our primary driver for leads. When we do a launch, we do a 10-week launch before we open a facility, where we're just going to, flood as much as we can into paid advertising. Our goal is if we can open a facility with 75 members, get 75 paid contracts before we open, that's a really good launch. And then after that, we just drop the paid spend down a little bit, and just continue to kind of keep with our leads generated from that pre-launch. And then we do, referral marketing, joint ventures. We're lucky to be in shopping centers where there's another fitness concept. So we can partner with a yoga studio, cycle studio, and kind of do like a class share and kind of get that secondary growth once we open the doors. So most recent studio opened with 87 members in the pre-sale. And then we've gotten that second burst of members, that last 20 from 87 to 107 from joint ventures and like bring a friend weeks.
What are the offers with some of these paid ads, or even if you're
I'm trying to pull some up here, but I'm not seeing page transparency here.
I found one for the old one, but I think it was for teens. So yeah, what's the offer? You know, when you're put on this money in Google and Facebook.
Yeah, so the offer that has worked best the last time was 20% off for life for our founding members. So that, I think we kind of hit a sweet spot with changing our offer from our previous launches. We did 30% off for the first 3 months, which was a juicy offer in the beginning. But after 3 months, the discount goes away. And, you know, a lot of people were just tied into, I'll just try this for 3 months. And listen, a lot of people stayed because they liked the training, but a lot of people...
I would imagine 3 months is a long enough time to indoctrinate. That's actually a little surprising, but...
Yeah, we had a lot of people stay. Most people did, you know, but you're going to have those members that are like, I'm only going to do this for 3 months. They're going to tell you when they sign up, and, you know, they're going to leave once the price jumps up. So 30% was also such a big hike when the price went up, that you see this on your credit card statement for 3 months and it doesn't look terrible. And then fourth month, you're like, wow, where did this come from? So we got rid of that, and we're doing the 20% off for life, and we'll cap that at 100 people. So that's done at Collegeville, our newest location. And then, you know, over the course of the next couple of years, you know, we're going to retain a lot of people, but obviously if we operate at 5% churn, we're also going to be losing people. And we will replace them with, you know, our full price members. So over time, you know, that location will catch up to, you know, where it should be.
And after a launch, what's the offer, you know, for new people? How are you getting people in?
Yeah, honestly, the offer is one free class, and you sign up on the floor. You know, we're not chasing a ton of volume in the memberships. We need 120 people. We like to believe that the training is going to really speak for itself. So if we get someone in for one free class, you know, three times out of four, they sign up for a membership, you know, on the floor there.
Do you gap the classes? Like, how does that work? Is the one person on the floor got to like sneak out, get them in your member management software and get back to the class? Or do you have like a little bit of time in between?
There's a little bit of time. So we'll just pass that off to the facility leader. You know, if they're not coaching that session, then our, you know, head coach will Slack them and say, so-and-so signed up for 2 times a week. They'll kind of move them in the pipeline. So none of that necessarily happens, you know, on the floor. The sale will happen on the floor, but we're not on the iPad, you know, inputting your credit card information or anything like that.
You know, I know a lot of people are still kind of in group, or maybe they do a little personal training, but, you know, if they want to start offering this, what's the sales process like? Because it is a bigger price point. So you do the free session, a lot of that sells itself, but, you know, once you're sitting down with someone, I guess what would be some advice in the sales pitch for people who are interested in this?
Yeah, I think, you know, our elevator pitch, our core values, our community, we kind of talk a lot about the things outside of the training session itself, because the X's and O's of what we do is not different than many of the other gyms in the area. But at the same point, we're probably going to charge more. So the service, you know, is going to be delivered a little bit better. It's going to be consistent. It's going to be customer first, right? Customer first approach. So we're trying to kind of warm people up to the idea that you're not just joining for the workouts, you're joining for everything else we're doing. We do community service, we do these happy hours, we do these education events, we do, you know, a ton of other things. So we're kind of like selling our community and all the extra value adds. So we charge, you know, $377 for 3 times a week. The training is one thing. You also have the support of your facility leader, your head coach that are going to be on top of you in the sense of making sure you're getting closer to your goal, because there's only 120 people. You never get lost. So the customer service piece of like, you know, walking through the door, you're always greeted by your name. right? You always get X amount of reach outs every 30, 60, 90 days to make sure that you're getting the touch point. So the customer experience side of things, for us is definitely a differentiator between other, small group gyms or CrossFit boxes by us or any other high-end fitness offerings around Philadelphia.
I saw this thing on Twitter. I was trying to find it here, but I struck out. It was like this guy who owned like a dental practice, and he just had like a robot with an iPad on the top of it. And he hired VAs from the Philippines to just be like their front desk person. So you just walk into the dental office and you're greeted by an iPad, but it was like a real person behind the iPad. And I was like, you can keep costs low, get somebody at the front desk, sign them up right then and there.
Maybe that's what we need. Can we teach it everyone's name when they walk in?
That's insane.
Exactly.
That's absolutely crazy, but okay.
Yeah. Imagine think of it like a Roomba with like a broomstick and an iPad on the top of it.
Right.
That's what this thing looked like. And then there was like an actual human somewhere.
Like Zoom is just always open and that person's face is just
yeah. And that's the front desk. $5 an hour.
Wow.
So, all right. And so how are you finding people? Right? Like we've been asking this question for 40 minutes now.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
And I have a follow-up to it, but yeah, you can go first.
So we use a recruiter now. Previously, I hawked our last one through Instagram, just a gym near us. Guy was running an adult small group program out of a baseball facility. Looked exactly what we did. I brought him in, and he was awesome. He was kind of just independent trainer driving around to 6 different gyms to make his, career. And he loved the opportunity of doing it at one place. So that was one. Middle location was taking someone from our headquarters and bringing them to that location. They kind of graduated from where they could grow at Gage, and we just launched a location with them. So they knew all the systems. That was an easy one. And then our first location was we found a general manager of an Anytime Fitness that was about to quit to open their own gym. And she was a killer too. And so, she loved the idea of having support too, and not just doing it on her own. She didn't know if she wanted to do a weightlifting gym or a personal training studio. So she was kind of like in between 2 entirely different concepts. And we said, here's what we do. We've done it for 10 years. You want to join us? And that worked. So now moving forward, we use a fitness recruiter who works with, chain gyms and finds their general managers, finds their coaches. She works with Equinox and, Orange Theory and that type of thing. So her name is Jessie Stackhouse, Just Fitness Staffing. And we'll tell her, here's the location. She knows what the job description is. So she just hits, enter and she'll kind of start to vet the applicants as they come through and pass them through us if they look to fit what we're looking for in a facility leader.
We have our next podcast guest acquired. We know exactly who we're going to talk to after this.
Yeah, we use her for everything now. So for every job opening, even from part-time coach to general manager, just because it's just one less thing to have to worry about, right? And you get a professional that knows what we're looking for. And she goes out and tells me, Jeff, this is a person you should contact. And then I hop on the phone.
I know the next business I'm investing in. I'm going to call it Jess.
Because she's going to be slammed, because everyone's going to want to use her now that you outed her.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just came on this podcast and destroyed your business.
I really did.
So we can cut this, Jeff. We could cut it. It's
More
fine.
destroying gym businesses and making lives harder for gym owners.
So my follow-up question to this is, because you mentioned it before when I was asking you about the content. You were like, we package this and we just put it in a box and now we can just train up all of our operators on it. What is the onboarding process for, the location manager? How long does it take? How involved are you in it personally? Or are there modules now? Like how does that all work?
There's no modules. I mean, there's a Google sheet with some Loom videos, on how to use
Nice.
MindBody, but
Yes.
but there is a lot of like, hey, let's just meet for an hour on Tuesday and talk about this. So we have the 10-week, let's say 10 to 12-week launch process. That's kind of the onboarding process as well. So for those 10 to 12 weeks, we're doing sales, but we're also going to be doing all the onboarding. Devin handles all of the sales process, marketing process, and community process as far as the education goes. And then I handle all of the operations, scheduling, what the workouts are, all that equipment, all that type of stuff. And so we have 12 weeks. Now, I would say it's really about 6 weeks of a deep dive into education with 2 weeks in another studio to be there, like from open to close, and see literally everything for 2 weeks. And that really gives, our facility leaders a good indication of, their level of readiness. And they get to live it for 2 weeks before they get to do it themselves.
And how often are you going in for quality control after a launch?
After a launch, like pretty often for the first, so this one has been 8 weeks. So pretty often for the first month. And then that's really, really it. I'll do an hour Zoom call with each facility leader. And then once a week, we'll do a mastermind. All the facility leaders and all our leadership team at Gage will meet on a call. We'll do, issue solving for half the call and then education for the other half.
Nice.
Do you do like offsites? We used to take everybody once a quarter to an offsite.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll do offsites. We'll do offsites individually for every location to do like quarterly planning. And then we are in the process of planning our first Engage Summit. So all locations will get together. We'll travel somewhere and do like a big event somewhere.
All right. And so are you guys walk me through, what does it cost to open one of these things? Are you guys self-funding it? Did you raise some money? Like opening up a bunch of facilities at one time's expensive and stressful. Like where's the cash coming for this? Yeah.
So it was self-funded for the first three. And then now we have a line of credit, and we also have, this Malvern location that's been open a year. I mean, it's kind of just flooding cash. So it's only 2 people in there, right? Profit margins are awesome. We're taking a lot of cash from these profitable locations and just kind of spinning them into the next one. We're in the process of LOIs on 2 units. So like I said, that 2 launches at the same time deal will be coming up. Hopefully we'll get an answer hopefully here in the next couple of weeks on both of them, and we'll kind of go from there and see what happens. But the idea is, once 2, 3, 4, 5 all start kind of going, we just kind of use it as a flywheel, and all that cash just kind of keeps going. So we want to do this just Devin and I, and not franchise it, and not get into a situation where we're kind of accepting money if we don't have to. But obviously if things get crazy, we want to keep scaling, obviously that's going to be the move. But in the short term, we want to see how far this model can take us, just the 2 of us.
And how does compensation work for the managers and the other coaches?
Compensation's tied to membership numbers. So 0 to 75 is their base salary. If you get to 75 members, you hold that for 3 months, you get an increase. I think it's like an extra $1,000 a month or something like that. We get to 100 members, you hold that for 3 months, another $1,000. You get to 120 members, you hold that for 3 months, another $1,000 a month. So it's tied to the membership number. And then once we hit the mature facility, I said 120 is cap, right? So every 6 months, the facility leader would be eligible for a profit share based on the success of the business as well. And our full-time coaches are paid on a salary that's pretty competitive to any other high-end gym job. So it's kind of like a great position, whether you're the facility leader or the head time coach. You're going to get a salary, and then you're going salary guaranteed too for the facility leader, and then your incentives are based on the success of the business and the membership number.
So what happens when someone gets sick? So you got these two people. It sounds super lean.
That's
like
a fantastic question.
one person gets the flu. Like 2 people across the 3 locations get the flu. That's like 50% of your staff. What happens?
That is a great question. Hasn't happened yet. No. So we have
no sick policy.
Really? Yeah. We had a global pandemic. Hadn't happened once.
No, our facilities have been rock stars. But yeah. So if it does happen, all of our current locations are within 30 minutes of each other. Our headquarters has 10 staff. If we were in a position where we needed to send a coach out there, we could do that. Now, what happens with the full-time staff we have at these locations, they're really strong at jumping in and coaching a split day if they have to for a day or 2 or, whatever. We just had our staff at the Two Brain Summit, so they came in on Friday. The gym ran all day Friday, all day Saturday with, their full-time staff. So team player is a huge core value for ours. We want people that don't care about 2, 3, don't get sick, right? Be a team player. Don't ever get sick. But also be a team player. If someone is sick, you don't mind coaching a full day, which again is 7 sessions. So
right. I forgot that you're only doing half the day. Yeah.
Right.
So you can.
Right. Exactly. So comparative to anyone with as a personal trainer, they might do 9, 10 sessions in a day. For us, a full day is going to be 7 sessions. So it's not as taxing on the coaches.
What's the most you've done in a day, Teo? What's the most classes you've coached?
I don't know. I mean, I can't remember, but I opened and closed plenty of times. I was there at 6 and left at 9 and did the next one at 6.
Yeah.
Plenty of times.
I did some 4, I think 8. There was like a 4 block in the morning and a 4 block in the evening.
Yeah. If we had that, then I definitely did full days for sure.
And one thing I skipped over with finding people, 2 of our facility leaders worked in collegiate strength and conditioning for a while. So if you know anything about college strength and conditioning, every day is like that. So they were opening the weight room at 6 in the morning and leaving at 7 at night. So, that was my first job out of school in coaching. So I think when that's your experience, when it comes to a small group and there's 7 of them, it's kind of like you're on vacation a little bit, even though the days are long.
The collegiate grind is different, man. Like those guys you just live there for shit money for just 10 years. I respect guys who come up in that game because they know how to work.
Yeah, did they pay you in sweatpants and muscle milk?
And you get to steal some of the athlete protein bars every once in a while, assuming you're at a good school. One that has a protein bar sponsor. All right, cool. So it sounds like a pretty decent business. What does it cost to open one of these things? Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of equipment in there. Are you doing full locker room build outs with 6 people? I can't imagine you'd need to do something elaborate there. What are you dropping to build one of these things? No,
it's all in. We're less than $100,000. So it is. It's I said the whole thing is lean. So you got rubber flooring rolls out, 3 half racks, 2 cable machines, 3 Echo bikes. Dumbbells from 10 to 80 pounds, kettlebells from 10 to 106 pounds, some TRX, some med balls, a TV, and a Sonos, and that's the gym.
Yeah, I got more shit in my backyard here. And so it pays for itself in about a year if all goes well?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Yep.
Kind of the back of the envelope. Are you building showers in these things or no?
No. So we don't have showers in any of our facilities. We have the large ADA bathrooms. Exactly. We have the ADA bathroom, which is enough to get, changed comfortably. And that's it.
Yeah. We partnered with a guy named
one like that.
Ashley Mack, PTDPT. We didn't have it was one stall for the entire gym. And it wasn't as good as yours. I think during peak, it was doing 30, 35 grand a month, but it was insanely profitable. It was insanely lean. And it was fun. I would take classes there. It was fun. It was a nice experience because you get to know the people you were training with really well. We
had poopery in the bathroom. That was it.
Teo was an owner in that gym. I don't know if you ever went to it though.
Yeah, I did. I went a bunch of times. I had pizza next door. Did sled pulls in the parking lot. Yeah.
So for you guys, no franchise on the horizon. You just want to make a nice little cash flowing business and buy a mansion in Devon.
Yeah, right.
Devon wants to move to Devon.
He's from Devon.
Of course.
Funny enough, yeah. But yeah, that's the plan. So if things change online, that they change. But the goal is to stay involved and do it with the team we have right now as far as we can.
Sounds like less headaches than having franchisees and having to train and having a bad operator. Like, that's the problem I see with any of these chains who try and franchise like small group training. And the reason why I don't think very many of them had a lot of staying power. They're just so reliant on having someone amazing in the management position, and you just can't do, like, it just seems very, very difficult to pull that off at scale, right? If you look at like stuff that's over 500 locations, it's like very class based. So like an Orange Theory, you can kind of like pack that out, high energy, like not very coaching intensive. You need a cheerleader, right? Some of those exponential models, like a Pure Bar, like it's just like such a small footprint, and like they choreograph it so well, and there's just such a strong marketing machine. I can see how that would kind of work. But for stuff like CrossFit, small group training, anything like that, it just seems like very, very difficult to try and open 800 to 1,000 of these and find people who, like, if you don't have the 10 years of experience you have just kind of running your own gym, like, do you think someone could like develop an eye for that? Or you think your girl can fill up 800 when after we call her and ask her?
She might be able to. For us, and why we want to do it, like, we love the development part of it. So educating the facility leaders, doing these mastermind calls, doing these like meetings to develop someone that is just a coach or is just coming in with a little bit of management experience at a gym, and that piece has just been awesome. And the franchise model is way different. You're getting someone that can just finance it, and they might have a great clips and an engaged personal training, and that's not the person we want. We want the person that's like, I made $65,000 a year as a personal trainer, and I was totally fried and burnt out. Let me join this place where I can have a better career, make $90,000, run a facility, and coach 12 hours a week, and kind of do that individually at each location versus, selling territories and all that type of stuff.
All right. So for multi-location stuff, it seems like growth, like velocity, getting more of these open is kind of your priority now. Have you thought at all about potentially owning the real estate for some of these, or having some type of asset-backed approach so the cash flow goes off to, buy off some land? Or is it just because your strategy is like grocery store anchored retail that would be pretty difficult, and it makes more sense to just have the facilities cash flowing? Like, how do you guys think about that?
Yeah, that's our philosophy right now, is just getting these grocery store anchored centers with like complementary fitness, model. It sounds so corny to say it, talk like that, but that's like realtor talk, I guess, that I hear. But get into a shopping center with another gym like us and a grocery store. And as far as real estate, we're looking in Westchester. If we can buy a building to move our gym and this 500 member this gym, that I think would be something we want to get into. But as far as the other locations, we'll just get them in a retail spot and see what happens.
And what's your strategy there? Are you locking down like super long-term leases, or like a 5 plus a couple options after that? Like, or are you doing like a couple years, seeing if it works, and if not, like lighting your 100K on fire and moving on to a new one?
Yeah, we have 5. We have 2 5s and a 7 right now. And the 2 we have LOIs on are 5. So 5 with some options. And again, like you said, if it totally fails, we never sign up a member. Like, it totally bottoms out. We can sell the equipment and we can, we're out the rest of the money, but it's conservative enough that we could go and do it again.
Are you guys personally guaranteeing all this stuff, or are you in a position where you can kind of, the business can kind of sign for some of these?
That's a great question. So the business is signing a guarantee for them.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's a big hurdle.
It's very nice.
So we're in the LOI stage in our next location is slated to be Mission Viejo, California. So if
Wait,
that
what?
one, I saved that for the end. Yeah. So yeah, we
Across state lines. You're gonna do a real remote
You're
one.
literally like,
A
my
real
sixth
remote.
strategy is like my guy drives to the gym
Yeah.
when the
What
other guy's
happens
sick.
if
And
someone gets sick at that one?
So you
You
have to
fly
understand,
in. You chop her in.
you have to understand the relationship between myself and Devin Gage. So we're talking crazy visionary and conservative integrator on my end of things. So his vision is, we found someone in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, actually, and perfect candidate, all was good, and their fiance got a job in California. They're leaving. And Devin's like, what do you think about just continue to go through this process? And I was like, I don't think I want to have that conversation. And so 2 days later, I think I was on a flight to Los Angeles to scout out Orange County and see what was it about, and see what kind of cars were driving around. And
Oh yeah, Orange County.
what's-
Orange County. You're good. Yeah. For your model, you're fine.
Yeah, so Mission Viejo, like all the numbers are median household value is like 1.2 million, and everything is checking the boxes of what we're looking for. So
yeah, this shit I don't even need to click any of this. It just looks expensive. There's just like the most prominent thing here is a golf course and another golf course, and then Dana Point and another golf club. Like, yeah, this looks I can see some ways that this could potentially go poorly for you. I definitely see how there could be some issues with this, but I get where you're going with it. So
yeah, for this
you're
one,
betting on the man or
yeah,
woman.
for this
I don't
one
know.
we
You
would
didn't mention.
we would staff it a little bit differently. This
La
one being
Paz.
such a unique situation, we would do, facility leader, full-time coach, part-time coach for sure. So always have a swing person at any given time. So that one's going to look different. It's not going to be as clean cut as the other ones.
There you go. Yeah, these are looks like the cheapest home you can buy in Mission Viejo is like $750,000 for a condo. Yeah. All right.
Love it.
That sounds insane. And then where's the other one? The one this is the simultaneous opening. So is the other one in Calgary?
Yeah. No, the other one's in Bryn Mawr. So main line, heart of the main line.
Okay, cool.
Heart of the main
So
line.
you only lost your sanity temporarily there.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean,
cool.
listen, the hardest part's the people. So we found a person, that's shown to be the hardest part for us. We found a really good candidate that again, it makes that risk less scary. And when it's not enough money to totally drown you, I guess it makes you a little bit more brave. I don't know, but again, that's Devin visionary speaking. And if we're really gonna scale, we're gonna have to do it eventually. It sounds easier.
You don't have to do it eventually. You could stay regional. There are plenty of regional giants. You don't have to go to the other coast. But I love it. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm supporting. I'm just.
Teo's
you don't have to.
Teo's from.
Yeah,
Los
I'm from the
Angeles.
West Coast, so you know, when you do the LA one, hit me up.
Absolutely.
Isn't Mission Viejo like kind of south? South.
Yeah,
of
it's
LA,
Orange County
like
South.
a little bit.
Orange County South. Yeah.
They're considered like different things though.
Very
I'm
different.
assuming.
Very
Okay,
different.
Cool. They have different shows of selling sunsets.
They
so
do.
It must be incredibly
They do.
different.
100%.
That's
I'm
how I know
surprised you know that, John. Wow.
We both love trashy reality television.
I do, but sometimes we don't overlap. But I'm glad we found a common one
Selling
here.
Sunset's on the hit list for sure.
Great.
So Jeff, where can people find you, support you, love you, send donations to your California location?
We are Engage personal training on Instagram with our locations. Gage Strength Training is our headquarters. That's like kind of our big box gym. And if anyone wants to get in contact with me, it's just jeff@gagestrengthtraining.com. So I'm not big on social media. If you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see pictures of my kids and my dog probably. So
Jeff, you start that process of getting workers' comp and like hiring someone in California yet?
yes.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
that was
good.
great.
You get those workers' comp quotes yet?
I don't know. Maybe they went to Devin. I haven't looked at them yet, but yeah,
right.
I'm learning all the differences between East Coast, West Coast right now.
It's going to be a treat. You're going to love it. It's going to be a great time.
I got to drive a Tesla for the first time out there. So.
Wow. I have a funny Tesla story, but we'll tell it another day. Jeff, thank you very much for coming, sharing your business model. Sounds like you got a good thing going. Looking forward to see how you expand. Maybe you come back in 6 months and give us an update and prove us all wrong. Let us know how much money that Mission Viejo location's pulling out.
Can't wait. Let's do it.
All right. Awesome, man. I look forward to checking out your facilities next time I'm in Pennsylvania.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's all for this week's Gym World Worldwide. Be sure to dislike and unsubscribe and leave a hateful comment. See you next week.